Welcome, friends and neighbors of the Nytetime podcast. I am your host, Matt Higgins, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. I know the first episode posted last Friday, pretty raw, kind of testing some things out, trying to get comfortable behind the mic, went on a few rants, because that's who I am. Inside here is a circus, and it's nonstop 24/7. But this week, I wrote down a list of things I wanted to talk about, articles I wanted to cover, and discuss a few other personal issues, sneak in a few current events, because, you can't get enough of that, right? Anyway, let's get started. I do have a list right here. These are some articles that I've been saving that I thought needed a little bit of attention before they completely go away into the ether. And the first one is Roe versus Wade. So, when that was overturned, the idea was we wanted to send that back to the states. States' rights, each state should be responsible for legislating abortion. For some reason, the federal government can't get involved in that particular subject. I don't know why. It's stupid. There are some things that the federal government needs to be involved in. There's, especially when it comes to rights, because if you leave personal rights to states, bad shit happens. Perfect example of that would be, I don't know, pre-Civil War, when some states thought it was cool to own people and some states didn't. That's kind of if you want to be a country with any kind of cohesion and constant message and be taken seriously in the world, you kind of got to be on board with the right answer, be on the right side of that issue. And if you leave it up to the states are inhabited by people, they elect people, and people can be extremely stupid. I can't sugarcoat that for you. That's just how it is. So the federal government needs to say, hey, whole country, slavery's illegal. Can't own people anymore. So, with that kind of context in mind, for some reason, abortion rights isn't important enough for the federal government to mandate a woman have the right to choose, have the right to decide what happens with their own body. And the argument was from the states, mostly Republicans, the states should be able to decide. Okay, fine. States can decide. That's what Roe v. Wade being overturned was about. Now, you've got Republican conservative religious asshats. Now they want to make it illegal for you to travel to a different state where abortion would be legal and have an abortion if you live in a state where abortion's illegal. Okay, so this immediately tells you that the states' rights argument was complete horseshit. They had no intention of letting a system set up where, okay, some states can have it and some states can't, and people will move to wherever they feel comfortable and live where they agree with the laws. No. If you leave a state that makes abortion illegal, travel to a state to get an abortion, or you drive somebody there, or you pay you help pay for that abortion in a state where it's legal, and you come back, you can still be prosecuted. Now, that is hypocrisy on a level that is, I would say, stunning, but not unforeseen. A lot of people saw that coming. I knew that's what was going to happen because they're predictable. They're so wrapped up, and this is why religion needs to get the fuck out of politics, because people's beliefs in the realm of magic and other horseshit, the rest of us have to suffer through their delusions because they want to govern by their constant game of Dungeons and Dragons. So I wanted to just touch on that real quick and remind everybody that, hey, they don't really want abortion to be illegal in some states and not others. They want it to be illegal across the United States. So they took the federal government out of the equation, and now they want to make it so that using another state to get an abortion where it is legal, making that illegal too. So they really are pushing the boundaries of what is ethical. You can argue all you want with me about whether or not abortion should be legal, because I am of the opinion that there's a compromise to be had, but yes, abortion should be legal with certain restrictions. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's called a compromise. I talked about that in the last episode, I believe. So, just wanted to bring that up, something to keep an eye on. Hey, if you travel to a state to do something that's illegal in your state, they're looking for ways to punish you. Kind of sounds like they could apply that to anything, doesn't it? Drug use. Marijuana is legal in some states and not others. So what's to keep them from testing you, tracking you? Like, say you live in Iowa and you don't have legal marijuana, so you drive to, let's say, Illinois, where it is legal. You stay a couple days in a hotel, you get high, you come back the next week. Well, hey, we see that you went to Illinois. Do you mind if we test your blood? Oh, you partook of a drug that's legal in Illinois, but not legal here. I'm not saying that would happen because, you know, what precedent would that set, right? I'm just saying, the Roe v. Wade was all horseshit from the beginning. That is a federal issue, just like drugs. Marijuana should be a federal issue. Just make it legal. But anyway, next topic. There was an article about a rapper a while back who got on Instagram and was talking shit and was daring people to show up at his place of residence. Well, from what I remember in that article, it took about 5 minutes for somebody to show up and kill him. And this is where I step in and say Darwin has done some of his best work from the grave. You may hear me say that many times in the future. It is true. In this day and age, with the amount of people that are going crazy and have guns and have no moral compass, who are lost, it's probably not a good idea to provoke them, especially when you send out a message like that across a social media site where millions of people are going to hear it. You think your luck is so good that the odds of one of those people saying, you know what, fuck it, I've had enough of this life, I'm going to go call this guy out, Nobody has that kind of luck. Nobody. You asked for it and you got it. Toyota. Don't feel sorry for them. Don't feel sorry for them. If you're going to talk shit, expect somebody to call you out on it at this point. Especially telling them where you live. Are you fucking insane? My God. What? Like I said, people are stupid. A lot of them. But I guess if they're going to continue to do things like that, they're kind of helping thin out the herd, so to speak. I know that's a faux pas. You shouldn't talk like that, but the gene pool really does need the filter changed at this point. I came to that realization a long time ago when I was reading on a box of spermicidal jelly that it's not for oral use, because some lady put it on toast and ate it because she thought that's how spermicidal jelly worked. So they had to put that warning on the box: don't take it orally. It's not food. Moving on. This one bothered me. It happened over in Europe somewhere, I believe. Some kid, 22 years old, was out with his family, I think. I know his sister was with him. They went on a helicopter ride. And it's the age of cell phones and selfies and all kinds of other shit. So they went on this helicopter ride. They got off. They got off the helicopter. Blades are still spinning because that's just how it works. You have any kind of sense, you get out of the helicopter, you duck your head, you fucking walk away from the helicopter. It's not a toy. It's not a game. Well, he decides to get out of the helicopter and start taking selfies. And he had no situational awareness, apparently, because he ended up trying to get the perfect shot and he backed up into the fucking the tail rotor, the blades. And you can guess what happened. It killed him. I don't know if it chopped his head off, but, blades spinning hundreds of times a second, it did what it was designed to do if you put flesh in front of it, which was chop it up. So he died. Now, what pisses me off about that is the family, the sister especially, was talking about, well, it's not his fault. He wasn't trying to get selfies and go viral or whatever, and the people in charge of the helicopter ride and the pilot didn't explain to them what to do or what not to do. So you are expecting me to have sympathy for someone who needs to be told, hey, when you get out of the helicopter, the blades are still running, and you'll be able to tell because of the extreme fucking wind and noise. Get away from it. Get out. The ride is over. Walk away from the helicopter. You're not a fucking child. Don't play around it like it's a jungle gym. So I'm supposed to feel sorry for that person because they didn't have the rules explained to them. I can't. My brain won't let me feel sorry for you. My heart says, hey, sorry for your loss, but that's about it. I mean, even I got news for you. My daughter will attest to this. I love her to death. I'll do anything for her within reason. We're not going to go full Dexter, but if we've talked about certain situations where I read in the news things that happen, and I'll tell her, I say, look, I love you. I care more about you than anything else. But if you were in this position, and I'll use this helicopter Death is an example. If you get out of a fucking helicopter that's still running and you back yourself into the blades trying to get a picture, my heart will be sorry for the loss, and it'll never heal fully, and I'll miss you. My first instinct isn't going to go to the pilot or get on social media and say, we weren't told the rules, it's not her fault, please feel sorry for us, it's a tragedy. No, it's not a tragedy, it was meant to be. I'm not going to blame the helicopter pilot for not telling my daughter, hey, the fucking blades are still running, you can tell by the wind and the noise, so don't get near them. Does that make me a bad person? I don't think so. I think it makes me a rational person. Yes, some people act irrational when things happen to people they love or to themselves, but no. I'll miss her forever, but I'm not blaming anybody else for her death. Just like this family. That it never should have left their mouths that it wasn't their fault. It wasn't the kid's fault. So, that's my view on that. That'll kind of help you understand where I'm coming from on a lot of issues going forward. The things that I say and believe. A lot of it comes from a rational, logical standpoint. Now, I can be irrational and illogical to be sure, but a lot of that is intentional and it's for humor or satire or to, kind of help make a point while trying to be funny, because I do believe laughter is one of the best medicines out there, and sometimes we need to get a laugh out of something to help us reset our way of thinking. You go, fuck, I never thought about it like that. Yes, that's extreme, but you know what? Maybe I'm wrong on this. So, next subject, the Carrie Lake debacle. Now, she's been in the news for a long time just because she was running for governor of Arizona. She's a media personality, which means she's a talking pile of clothes. That's all she is. She's the female Donald Trump. And I know she's still relevant right now because she lost, and she's doing the same thing Trump did, which was lie, be a sore loser, sue everybody, get into court, and then when the court asks you specifically for actual evidence, they produce none. They say, no, we don't have it, we just believe. Okay, well, I think if you bring, and I'm not just talking about her specifically, I'm talking about anybody, if you bring a case to court and it gets into court and you get to get into the courtroom, and when the question comes, do you actually have evidence to provide to back your case up, and you say no, immediately the case should be dismissed. You should be charged with all court costs for both sides, and you should be fined very, very heavily. You should be punished. Now, she's not going to get punished. Obviously, she may have to pay some fees and stuff like that, but like she just recently got 8 out of 10 complaints thrown out. The judge left 2 in to go to court, and then she got there, and those got pissed away because she didn't have actual evidence for those. It was just belief, opinion, a feeling. Well, that's not evidence. Kind of like it's not evidence of God existing just because you feel it. So, I really dislike her because I can't blame her for the grift. I can't, because people are, like I said, and this theme runs throughout. People are stupid. She wouldn't be talking like that and saying those things if she didn't think it was effective. I can't blame Republicans for what they do because it's effective. They know who they're talking to. They know how simple people are and how easily manipulated and frightened they are. And it's unethical, it's immoral, it's a dirty pool, but that's also part of life. Telling everybody the fucking election was stolen, it's so stupid. It's stupid on a level that is quite impressive. That many people could be in cahoots, coercion, collaboration to steal an election. It's just dumb. You're upset because your lie didn't relate to enough stupid people. That's your argument. Because when you come out, and I think she said this, she didn't believe people would be stupid enough to vote for her rival. That's a bold statement, let me tell you. Saying out loud to the world, I don't think my constituents or the people in my state are stupid enough to vote for the opposition. I got news for you. If that falls out of your mouth, I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, I'm automatically voting for the other person. Okay? That kind of ego and that level of narcissism and horseshit just isn't going to vibe with me. I can't believe somebody doesn't. Whoever the PR people are for politicians, there needs to be a college opened up and classes to take to help you learn how to keep control of your candidate. I'm just saying, or whoever you work for. Yeah, I get it. The people like Carrie Lake and Trump and all the other MAGA Q tards out there, it wouldn't matter anyways. They're not going to listen to reason. But I just hope that this is a trend that picks up where people finally go, you know what, I'm actually tired of the lies, of the extreme stupidity, and we got to get these candidates out of here. We can't have them anymore. It's killing us. Next, Louisiana Baptist Bible Academy. This school, it's a kindergarten school, a grade school. A 5-year-old child was denied her place in kindergarten. She wasn't allowed to attend school because her parents, who her parents adopted her. They're same sex. Bottom line, this is what it is. This girl was adopted by her aunt and her spouse, and they're both female. So that's right there. That's the end of the world. So the Baptist Academy would not let the child attend school. So here I have mixed emotions about this. First of all, and this will be controversial, the Bible is clear in that it frowns on homosexuality. I didn't write the fucking book. It's not my idea. I don't follow it. Don't blame me. Okay? When people accuse religious zealots and nutcases of cherry picking what they want to enforce and not enforce what they want to believe and not believe, the rest of you do the same thing. The rest of you religious idiots who follow the good parts of the Bible and not the bad, whereas the other side follows the bad and not the good, you're all cut from the same cloth. You've all missed the boat. Okay? The Bible is a book. It's a horrendous book. There's some good things in it. Yes, there's some good stories. All literature has something you can take away from it. Aesop's fables, Grimm's fairy tales. Jesus Christ, I mean, there's always good lessons to be learned, even from the worst literature. The Bible is no different. The Bible was written by man. The Bible was written by man. Therefore, if you're going to believe some of it, you got to believe all of it. Otherwise, it's just horseshit. And when I say believe, you can't just say, well, God said we should love each other and live together and not steal and not kill and all this. But then when he says, hey, don't sleep with the same sex, don't marry the same sex, and say, well, he didn't really mean that, or I'm just going to choose to ignore that, then anything that happens to you, you deserve. So, having said that, you are a gay couple with a child, and you're having her attend a school that is based on religion, or it's religious backing, and you're upset and confused and confounded that they don't want the child there. Call me reactionary, but what the fuck did you think was going to happen? I don't feel sorry for you in this case. I feel sorry for the kid. I mean, the kid has a right to an education. The parents, you have a right to love whoever you love and marry whoever you want to marry and sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. That's your business. And it should stay that way because it's about you too. Okay? It's about your happiness. That happiness is not hurting anybody else. Okay? It doesn't affect the institution of marriage. If it does, if you're a straight couple and you're married, and if a gay couple gets married and that affects your marriage, you probably shouldn't be married anyways. You probably shouldn't be breeding or talking or thinking or wasting oxygen, period. I know that sounds insightful. I'm not saying they should be killed, but what I am saying is if they were to tragically die in an accident, I say addition by subtraction is not a bad thing. So, and sometimes I think items like this, when they pop up, I think it's on purpose. I think they do it to make a point. I hope that's not the case. I hope they're not using their 5-year-old child to try and further a movement that says, hey, anybody should be allowed to attend any school. If I were a gay man and I was married to another gay man and we had a child by some miracle, we were able to adopt one, or we had it from a previous relationship, whatever, I would not send that child to any school that had religious backing or religious relationships, because I know better. I know better. I wouldn't want them going there anyways and learning that dumb shit. When they get older, I am fully for learning about religion when you're older, when your brain is not so soft and malleable and impressionable that you'll believe anything, because you still believe in fucking Santa at age 5. Of course it's easy to believe in a God. A God that they describe as being benevolent, but is really very horrific. When you're old enough to form your own opinions and make educated decisions, then you should study religion and understand it. But yeah, I would not send my kid there. So these two, it bugs the shit out of me that the school couldn't find it in themselves to allow the child to come in and learn, and even under the premise of, well, let's let their kid in, and maybe we can get this kid early enough and try and convert her so she doesn't turn out like her gay parents. They wouldn't even do that, which is good. In the end, I think it's a good thing that the child didn't get to go, because I am fully against kids going to these schools. But they couldn't even give the appearance of acceptance of homosexuality by letting that child in. So fuck that school. What else we got? A Florida court determined that a 16-year-old female who was pregnant was too immature to make a decision about getting an abortion. I don't really have a joke for that. That's it. You have to listen to those words and then say them out loud, and then let your brain kind of bounce around a little bit. A court says a 16-year-old is too immature to get the abortion, too immature to make that decision to get an abortion. Now that implies that they also believe that child is not too immature to have a fucking baby, to go through the 9 months of torture at 16. That's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. The judge who made that decision should be removed, should be barred from ever holding any kind of position of authority like that, or decision making over people. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. When you're the person saying that shit, it astounds me that it doesn't trip something in your brain going, hey, goddamn, that's really fucking stupid. She's not mature enough to abort the baby, but she's mature enough to have the baby and raise the baby. Are you fucking insane? Really? Fucking hey, dude. I don't know. I don't know. This country is, it might be the greatest country on the planet. I don't know. I've never traveled outside of it. I've never even been to Canada. I mean, it's on my bucket list. But besides money, one of my feet, and it's going to be so much better that I don't come back. And then I'll miss all my friends and my family. But anyway, yeah. For being the greatest country in the world, we certainly have our drawbacks. But one of those, people in power making stupid decisions like this. 16-year-old can't get an abortion, but she can have and raise a child. I can't get over that. So anyway, next article I found was West Lawrence High School in Georgia. At a football game, some of the students got together and painted letters on their chest. Now, take a moment. What do you think it spelled when they got together in their little line? What word do you think it spelled that got them in the news? They got an article written that the whole world got to find out about. I won't say the word, but I'll spell it for you. It's Niger. So, yeah, the students should be expelled, and I think they were. obviously the school came out and said, well, we don't condone this sort of action. What bothers me right off the top is every time something like this happens, the institution always feels the need to say, yeah, we don't support or condone this type of behavior. No shit. I don't need you to tell me that. I'm going to automatically give you the benefit of the doubt that when this kind of shit happens, that these kids or people are going rogue and they didn't come to you and say, hey, we have an idea for a prank and we want to video it so we can go viral and get some clout and some likes. We want to spell the N-word on our chests at a football game. And you in your wisdom say, hey, you know what? I like the idea. I like the initiative. Go for it. No, I don't need you to tell me that wasn't the case. I don't need you to tell me you don't condone or support those practices. Now, if you fail to punish those students for that kind of action, then I will automatically assume you do support them. So you got to make sure your words match your actions. And how weird is it that, kids would feel comfortable enough to do that in public, right? Why would somebody feel that comfortable when there's all types of people and races and sexualities and at that football game? Why would you think that was okay? How did you come the thinking process is what bugs me. How did you come to the decision that whatever publicity we get out of this stunt will far outweigh the everlasting ramifications of being labeled a racist and hurting people the way you did? Have we come to the point in our society as it is on the decline that, yeah, I'm in high school, I got college ahead of me, but I'm going to risk it all so I can say the N-word on my chest at a football game? Like, if I'm one of those people that says, if you're going to get busted for something and have to get punished for it, fucking earn it. That's a really pussy way to go out, to be honest. If you're going to use the N-word, man, just walk up to a black person and say it. Call him one. Earn it. Go out in a blaze of glory. At least the repercussions will be immediate and swift, hopefully. You'll have your ass beaten into a paste. But the level of ignorance is just, it's mind-blowing that they thought that they could get away with that, or that it would be funny, or they can't understand the backlash. Just like I said, you should have to take a test to have kids, and you should probably be tested regularly as you're growing up to make sure you're still a viable candidate to be part of the society. But, funny haha, a little humor. Let's see. J.R. Majewski was an Ohio Republican congressional candidate who was running for office, and he was constantly talking about his military background, his military service, and all his missions, and where he was, and what he was doing. And the media fact checkers got a hold of it and found that they could not. It wasn't substantiated. They could find no military record of what he was saying. So they were all lies. And his comeback was, well, it's classified. That's why you can't find record of it. This goes back to how easily people are manipulated, and the grift that is easily executed on stupid people. Military service doesn't mean shit to me when it comes to politics. And it shouldn't mean anything to anybody else when it comes to politics. Sure, it's great to have if you get into a position where you're going to be making direct decisions about what happens with the military. But most of the time, the politicians' decision making is reactionary at best, and I don't want somebody getting elected just because they were in the military. I thank you for your service. I'm sorry you felt you needed to be in the military to make a difference because you were used. I mean, I'll support the troops in that I don't want them to die. I don't want them getting sent to different countries around the world to fight and die for shit that has nothing to do with us, unless it involves money or resources, in which case you're not defending our freedoms over there. You're defending our financial interests. You're mercs. That's what you're being used as. Now they'll hide that under the guise of flag and country and freedom, but it's not. It's horseshit. My guess is a lot of people that join the military are just people that need an opportunity to get some kind of income and perhaps a crack at college with their GI Bills and things like that. And some of them probably just it's a great outlet for them to go shoot guns and kill people to get it out of their system. I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with the lie that you're fighting for our freedoms and defending our country. You're not. Nobody's attacking our country. The last time our country got attacked, our military didn't do shit. Why? Because it was a terrorist attack. Okay? That's how you attack a country nowadays. You don't send your military. You fucking go in 9/11 style. And man, did they catch us with our shorts down. We have the strongest military in the world, the most expensive military in the world. They got right into our country and flew planes into our buildings. In one day, in a matter of hours, they fucked this country up. And where was our military? It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's intelligence's fault. It's the government's fault. I'm one of those people that believes it's entirely possible that we allowed it to happen. We might have even been a part of making it happen. I mean, the story's out there that and I'm not saying that the Pentagon attack was directly related to the towers attack, but the fact that we did some kind of financial audit and we were missing billions of dollars or $1 trillion or whatever from military sources, and all of those records were destroyed because the plane that hit the Pentagon hit the exact part of the building where all those records were stored. Coincidence? Maybe not. I don't know. I hate being a conspiracy theorist, but that's awfully fucking odd. And anyway, I don't want to get too sidetracked on that, but like I was saying, so this guy says, well, my shit's classified, that's why you can't find record of my military service. Well, if it's that secret, and this is just me talking, I wouldn't be talking about it out loud, period. If it's classified and top secret, why the fuck are you going out on national TV and saying things about it and talking about it? That seems kind of dumb, doesn't it? But you can't get people to understand, well, maybe he's lying. Because all they hear is, oh my God, he's got military service. I should vote for him. Red, white, and blue. Stiff dick. Military service. Let's elect him. Regardless of his views, regardless of his intelligence, regardless of his qualifications. Well, he was in the military. And the only reason he was touting it was because he knew people would fall for it. He knows it's a fucking trip word. He knows that's the one that gets the hamster to fucking smack the switch. God, country, flag, children, religion, military, all that shit. Those are words that you say them and you automatically get the vote, the attention, the adoration, the love of a certain portion of this population because they're too stupid to think critically and not be nationalists from the brainwashing. I understand brainwashing exists and some people can't get out of it, but that's what it is. We need to acknowledge it. You were born here by accident. I don't know what you're proud of. And that shouldn't be, military service should not be the litmus test of whether or not you get elected to a position of political power where you're making decisions for everything else that isn't military involved. Yeah, I don't need your military service for that. Okay? I'm not shitting on veterans. I'm not shitting on people in the military. I wish you the best of luck. I just wish we didn't have to put you in that position and lie to you to do it. Because it's not fair to you. It's not. But I'm sure we'll talk about that down the road too. Here's another high school story. River Valley High School. I don't remember where this was because some of these links that I have to these stories expire, so they don't. I can't believe in the age of the internet these links don't last. But River Valley High School was forced to forfeit their football season because some of their students were making a video as a prank to get some views and likes. They held a slave auction. Here's the best part. The black kids were willing participants. So, the video got out and everybody got in trouble. The football players who did it, you know what? You're in high school. I think you're old enough to know the difference between right and wrong and what you should and shouldn't do. So if this follows you for the rest of your life, so be it. Okay, unless you are a grown-up and you're working on a sketch show so that it can be in the proper context and you have the proper protection and everybody's an adult and consent can be seen as legally binding, you shouldn't do this shit for TikTok videos or for YouTube. Holding a slave auction. And the black kids that were in there, my question for you is, what the fuck? If your answer to that is, hey, we're okay with it, we thought it was funny, it was a joke, why are you so upset? That's a fair question. My answer would be, we're upset, and because of the level of stupidity you exhibited and lack of self-awareness and lack of history knowledge and the harm you caused, the amount of ignorance. I don't even know if it's ignorance. It's got to be stupidity. Ignorance means you don't have the facts, so you can't make an informed decision. It's stupidity. It means you know what's right and wrong, but you do the wrong thing anyways, which is stupid. So, I just want to say that I don't know what you guys were thinking, but whatever punishment you get probably won't be harsh enough, and it should follow you. If you're in high school, I think you're old enough to know that was a stupid fucking idea. Okay? No, we should never forget what happened, it should always be taught in school in history of how bad this country was and how far we've come, which also showcases how far we haven't come. Yeah, a mock slave auction was probably not the move. I don't think, and that's a white man saying it. Okay, now I can imagine black people are probably more pissed, I would hope. So, I don't know. Anyway, and the last article I wanted to talk about was there was a video. A guy put this out, and I don't mean to shit on individuals because of their troubles in life, because I've had my own, God knows. But this guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he put out a video a while back. He got laid off from Bank of America. It was kind of like a mini mass layoff. And it was unexpected. They didn't see it coming. But he put a video out crying about it. Not because he was abused or wrongfully terminated or anything like that. It was just a video of him crying about being laid off. And his quote was, I see it all the time, but I didn't think it would ever happen to me. Really? The amount of times I hear that sentiment for all kinds of bad shit that happens, I didn't know. I didn't know it could happen to me. I didn't think it would ever happen here. Where the fuck have you been? It's happening everywhere and to everybody. Why are you on the internet crying to people that you got fired? We've all been fired. It would never occur to me to cry about it to a bunch of people on social media. You can talk about it, but the woe is me, I don't know. I've been fired a couple times, at least. The last couple of ones were pretty bad, but one of them caused, one of them I had a psychological breakdown at work, which caused me to lose my job, and then that threw me into a mental health tailspin. But this person, not suffering from mental health or anything like that, just, woe is me. So, don't do that. I'm alright with people putting videos out, I got fired, this is what happened, kind of like a PSA, but don't make it a sappy, sorry ass, emotional thing. You move on. You have to move on, even if it takes you years to move. No matter how long it takes you to move on, as long as you constantly make progress and work at it, and don't let that one situation define you. Great. I'm all for people succeeding. If we can beat the system, awesome. So, anyway, that's all the articles I wanted to cover today. I did want to take a few minutes to talk about a couple personal things. I made a lot of friends at my last job, and I want everybody to know it's not lost on me how much shit you guys had to go through at that place, at that plastic factory. And I did my best to try to make things work, to try to help everybody succeed, to kind of try and be on the workers' side. And I miss a lot of you. I do. I miss a lot of you. I know even if it was just a working relationship, a lot of you were the reason why I kept coming to work, and what made it easier to get through the day. And you guys meant more to me than I could probably ever express. When I initially took the supervisor position, my reasoning was so many people were coming and going in that position and getting hired and fired or quitting because they couldn't handle it. I was the one who was always having to train them and watch them do the job and fuck it up. And then a couple of people suggested that I should apply for it, and so it was the belief of my coworkers and my friends that I would be good at it. So I appreciate that vote of confidence that you guys gave me, and I appreciate all the hard work you did for me, because every shift that I went to, we always improved our numbers from previous supervisors, and that was only partially me. You guys did all the hard work. I just planned it out and tried to remove the obstacles in your way. You guys did an excellent job, and you made yourselves look good, and in the process made me look good. But it was you guys driving that, and I just kind of came along for the ride. So I wanted to thank you. You guys know who you are. Samantha, Sarah, Matt, Chase, Dang. There's a whole host of others. Just know that I think about you guys often. The medications that I'm on have caused me a decent amount of memory loss. So there's a lot of people that I can see their faces, but I don't remember the names anymore. So, but I remember our time together in a lot of cases, and I do miss that. I don't miss the job, though. I will tell you that. The job slowly but surely destroyed me. That accompanied with a personal life that was untenable, caused my downfall. But I just want to say I miss you guys, and I appreciate all the hard work you did for me, and I hope that you're thriving wherever you're at now. I hope it's a better situation, and that you feel like you're accomplishing something when you go to work. I want to take this moment and give a shout out to my dogs, Skate and Little Bear. They're two little chihuahuas. Skate we raised from a puppy, and Little Bear I rescued. And he's a grumpy fuck. He hates everybody, but he simply adores and loves me. But I couldn't have gotten through a lot of what I went through without the love of my dogs. My pets have really been therapeutic, and they've always been there for me. That's the one great thing about animals, dogs in general, pets. The love is unconditional, and you should always take the time to sit with your animals, or whatever pets you have, and just be in the moment and talk to them. It's not weird to talk to your animals. Talk to them. Show them affection and love. Obviously they can't understand us, but they can pick up on emotions. I do believe that animals can pick up on emotions, and a little bit of ESP maybe, or whatever, empathic. So shout out to my dogs. I've been missing them. I've been spending a lot of time with my girlfriend in a different town, so obviously I'm having a great time with her, Ginger Wood. I was fortunate enough to meet her in the middle of October, and it's been going swimmingly ever since. She's the kind of person that makes you want to be a better human, a better man, and hopefully I can do that for her. So yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. And I wanted to give a shout out to a podcast. It's a YouTube page that I've been following. I discovered maybe a month or two ago. It's called Chiseled Adonis. Chiseled Adonis. He does all kinds of commentary on sports, like mostly football, some basketball, fights, weird shit. He is extremely funny, and I can't tell you how hard I've laughed. Like, if I miss football on a weekend, he will do recap videos of the highlights. And, videos are anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes long, and he covers every game, little pieces of it, and he is amazing. His voice, his inflections, his humor. Chiseled Adonis is awesome. So I can't recommend that enough if you check that out on YouTube. And I don't think I had anything else I wanted to talk about. This is the end of episode 2. I thank you for listening. I know we didn't cover any current events today, but next week we'll be closer to being caught up with all the articles I wanted to talk about from the past. And then a lot of this will be more current. We'll talk about different stuff, sports and movies and shit like that. But anyway, thank you for listening. This was episode 2 of the Nytetime podcast. I am your host, Matt Higgins. I am signing off. You guys have a great week.